Alright, for this one, I'm going to try something a little bit different. So I've just done my walkthrough of this problem as my last video, and now I want to try going through it again, but maybe explaining it a little bit better because this was a pretty challenging problem that I built on the solution with like my mistakes. So now I want to see if I can walk through it and really understand what's going on. So we've got to reverse substrings between each pair of parentheses. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this example because it's the one that I used to really guide me. Stick it here. I'm going to draw up how I did it and how I think it should work. And then I'm going to code it up and have it be a bit more cohesive than just my thought process. So to start, anytime I see a question with parentheses, it's always a stack so far, because just the nature of parentheses, like how they work. So we start by initializing a stack, and then we need two more strings. So we need our answer string, which we're going to initialize as empty string just because we're going to build on it. Then we are going to have another string, which is going to be a helper string. We'll just call that string, which we will reverse each part of the parentheses in and use it after. So we're going to need a for loop to go over our s. So for I in s, I will just be each individual character. We're going to do if I equals our close bracket, because that's when we want to be doing our popping, I guess, from the stack. We'll leave this for now and just talk more about what we want to do to build it up. So else, when I is not this, so our starting characters, our normal characters, we are going to stack.append I. Now this is just going to stick it straight onto our stack up here and build it up. So now we're going to loop over I, we're going to add all of this to I, and then we are going to hit our closed parentheses. So what we're going to do is we're going to start a while stack. This just means we're never going to be trying to pop something that's not on the stack, because if you pop something that's not on the stack, you're going to get an error. We're going to do if stack -1, which is going to be the last element in our stack, is equal to an open bracket. What we're going to do is we're going to pop this open bracket, which will be this open bracket here. We're going to pop it from our stack, which means we remove it, we get rid of it, because we don't need it. We don't need the parentheses in our answer, we just need them to guide us. So we're going to pop that, and then we're going to break from this loop. The reason we're going to break is because we don't want to go to the next part of the brackets until we hit the correct parentheses for it. So we're going to break after we've gotten rid of this. It just means that we've gone through our string. But now what do we want to do with our actual string? We're going to do an else. We are going to string, being our helper string up here, plus equals stack.pop. So that's going to be evol, because we're reversing it as the question asks. So we've now reversed our string up here, stuck it in string, and it's going to be evol. And this will continue until it hits an open bracket, and then it'll break from the while. So the reason that's just the reason that we have this open bracket here, and we've built up our string now. So now we look for what happens when we've broken from this. We come down here to another else statement. Sorry, that's not right. We come over here to our while loop that we've now broken out of, and we're going to do stack.append string, and we're going to do ::(-1). Now this will reverse our string and add it to our stack. String plus equals stack.pop. Yep, so now we're sticking it back onto our stack. So the reason we want to do this is because now our stack is going to look like this, where we're up to. So it's going to look like u_evol, and then we're going to add I, and then we're going to have our close bracket, and we're going to go through and we're going to reverse it and get I love you. So you need to reverse it when you add it back onto the stack. Adding it back onto the stack is just because we're not done yet, and we need this to maintain its position in between the U and the I. If you just add this straight to the answer, it's going to look something like love UI, something like that, maybe love IU, but it doesn't matter. So we need to add it back onto our stack so it can get reversed again later. So we get u_evol I on our stack. That's why we need to add it back on. Then we set our string, which is currently equal to evol, back to nothing, because it's a helper string. So we're going to have to re-reverse things, re-add it to stacks, depending on the amount of brackets. So that's why we're doing this. Then our if up here, we come down. Sorry, wrong if again. We are going to our if here. Yeah, that's right. No, that's right. Else. Goodness, I'm not doing good here. This if corresponds to this else down here, which we've already done. So now we're breaking out of this for loop, and we've got our entire stack set up, right? So right now our stack looks like u_evol I. This is already taking care of our open parentheses and close parentheses. So then what we need to do is for I in stack, we're going to do answer plus equals I reversed, which here is going to turn out to be I love you. The reason we do a for I in stack and not just reverse the stack and return it is because if there were cases like this, where it was outside of the stack, the A and the B, it's going to end up in our stack looking like this, which we obviously need to reverse each element. And once that's done, we can just return our answer. Alright, let's code it up and I'll show you that it works. So we start with our stack, we have our answer string which we build on, we have our helper string, and then we want to go over our input string. So if I is equal to the closed bracket, we're going to start a while stack, if stack -1 is equal to a open bracket. What we want to do, if we remember, is pop this open bracket because we don't need it, we just need it as a guide, and break from this loop, which is the main purpose of it, of the open bracket. Then we're going to go else string plus equals stack.pop. Yep. Then once we've broken out of our while stack, we do stack.append string :-1. This, if you just remember, this just reverses a string or reverses an element in a list or reverses a list. It's just some fancy list slicing here. Then we set our helper string back equal to nothing because we're going to use it later again. And if it's not a closed bracket, we don't need to worry about any of this. We can just stack.append this element in I. Now this will handle breaking out of our loop, so we can just do for I in stack answer plus equals I -1 return answer, and this will work. Yep, so that's how you do it. I hope this solution made sense. If it doesn't, I can just, honestly, I'll just leave the code in the description. You can use it, you can play around with it and add some print statements, see how everything works. Or you can watch me go through my thought process on the video before. But yeah, that's how you do it.